at the moment as we get into our grand finals here at Stuttgart. Farigiraf and Annihilate for Luca, Rillaboom, and there's that Primarina for Eric Rios.
And already there's a big decision to be made because, yeah, Annihilate has Final Gambit ready. Could go for the play that we mentioned before, just launching Final Gambit to trade into Primarina or into Rillaboom. But you always have to watch out because, yeah, there could be a switch into Smeargle potentially. There could be a Protect, and you really want to make it count against this Final Gambit. But it seems like, yeah, Luca relying on Farigiraf to maybe set up a Trick Room, or maybe just goes ahead, goes for Hyper Voice, activates the Throat Spray, and deals a little bit of chip damage.
First of all, it's actually the Rillaboom switching out immediately. Yeah, with the Farigiraf there, you aren't offering any fake out potential at all. So Smeargle comes in here, maybe take a Ghost type move, but there's the Final Gambit you called, Marcus, and that's an instant KO on that Primarina, trading for the Annihilate, but it looks like that's Luca exactly intended to do this, potentially to get rid of what would have been such a problem Pokemon in this matchup.
And Farigiraf not going on the offensive. Instead, it will be a Trick Room, and this is a nice combination. Going for Final Gambit and Trick Room now allows Luca to bring in whichever Pokemon he feels is right for the situation, and I have a feeling it might be the Ursaluna Blood Moon.
Yeah, if Trick Room's going up, it's surely gotta be Ursaluna in the back. Now, one thing going for Eric's Komodo, though, is it's got soundproof, so it can take on those Hyper Voices and take no damage from them.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and this means that if Luca wants to commit here, it would need to be the Blood Moon, but then of course Smeargle has the opportunity to potentially follow me away that attack. Now, we know Fake Out is not an option against Luca's team because of Farigiraf's Armor Tail, but yeah, very delicate positioning, and it seems like Eric goes with a third option, switches in Rillaboom in favor of Smeargle.
So he's resetting Fake Out yet again here, maybe trying to catch a few moves. Psychic, though, coming out immediately into what was that Smeargle, taking that Rillaboom down a little bit further. There's that Hyper Voice, though, so a great call there to preserve the Smeargle here, not affecting the Komodo, and is absolutely free to go for that Clangorous Soul. There it is, that huge Omni-boosting, powerful move, raising all those defenses and those offenses, activating that Throat Spray, getting another special attack boost, at merely the cost of a third of its health.
Wow, yeah, that Komodo, not afraid. I mean, that could have been a Psychic being launched into it, but instead, Eric understanding that the pressure of Smeargle being there was enough to call in some moves from Luca. But yeah, he lost quite a lot of HP this turn once more, both on Rillaboom and also on Komodo. And now Psychic is still an option into Komodo. Of course, though, with the boost and with the Terra, then maybe it's not enough to get a KO. But yeah, Eric somehow needs to find a way to get out of Trick Room. But then it would be really difficult for Luca to deal with this Komodo.
Yeah, that's the problem. You've got to really respect this Komodo and the damage it could do. It might even want to go for a Terra here to kind of get around the Psychic, but then this Earth Power suddenly super effective on the Ursaluna side, so you might want to kind of consider protecting this Komodo, stalling a few turns of Trick Room here. But we've still got 3 left, and that is a lot. But Eric is going to go for it. There's the Protect. Stalling out a few more turns. Hopefully with that Assault Vest on Rillaboom, it can take a few more hits. But first of all, it's going to be that Hyper Voice. Ursaluna Blood. Oh, sorry, Farigiraf going for the Hyper Voice. Excuse me. And of course, the Farigiraf can also, the Ursaluna can follow up with that as well. Let's see if it does, or if is it that Blood Moon? Yeah, there it is. So Eric is able to get an attack off here, but can he make it worth it? Is it Woodhammer into Ursaluna? It is into the Farigiraf. And so that is going to be able to take the hit. And Rillaboom goes down instead. Ursaluna getting away with it this turn.
Yeah, Eric trying to go for a KO here potentially, but Luca's Farigiraf just proves to be too bulky and now also has Throat Spray activated, so the next Psychic is definitely going to hurt. Now, Smeargle coming in means that, well, there's still 2 turns left of Trick Room. How can you stall it out? I mean, we already know that Blood Moon was committed and Hyper Voice is not going to work against Komodo, so potentially with a Follow Me, you can buy the free turn that you need, and then protect the following turn to stall out the Trick Room. But there's still 1 final Pokemon left for Luca, and that could make all the difference.
Yeah, 100% there. If it's that Typhlosion, it could outspeed this Komodo and deal a lot of damage. but Komodo still has a really nice typing into it, so could get away with it too. But if it's the Whimsicott in the back, for instance, that could really affect a lot of special attacking damage. But Luca is going on defensive here, going for that protect instead, and therefore staying around a little bit longer so it can still pressure against those attacks. Follow me coming out from the Smeargle. Makes a lot of sense here, and it has to be that Earth Power that Luca can go for into the Smeargle, getting it down to that Focus Sash instead. And now we're going to see the Komodo go for its signature attack. There is that Clanging Scales at +2 special attack. This is going to be a powerful move. This isn't Assault vs Luna, but it still is able to hang on into this final turn of Trick Room.
Yeah, so the play to potentially counter this would have been to maybe click Spore into Ursaluna. Or maybe Eric is confident that Komodo can go for the reverse sweep. Smeargle cannot protect, so Smeargle will go down to any sort of attack coming out from Luca, but Komodo can go for protect this turn. Then Trick Room would be over, but it really depends. What is the last Pokemon going to be? If it's Whimsicott, and if Luca can manage to switch it in this turn, then potentially there could be an Encore threat to lock Komodo into Protect. So it's not as easy to just go for that move, because also due to the fact that Whimsicott is a Fairy type, it could switch in even if it was a Clanging Scale. So it's a tough choice to make, because you need to predict which Pokemon does your opponent have in the back when you don't even know what it is.
That's such a good point there, Marcus. There's so much on the line here, and Eric's really thinking about it too. As you can see, he's locked into the Flamethrower here, and it looks like he's caught Luca unawares, given the Terra Fairy that's coming now out from this Farigiraf. But first, you'll follow me. Farigiraf, we know he's going to go first in this Trick Room here and be able to KO it with a move. Psychic, yes, here it comes out. Smeargle's definitely going down, but now Blood Moon is online for this Ursaluna in this final turn of Trick Room. It's still +1 special defense on this Komodo. This needs to be enough for a KO, and it just about hangs on with 3 HP. So close. Flamethrower is now able to KO this Farigiraf, but as you say, Marcus, what is in the back?
If it is Whimsicott, then that can easily go for any attack, and Komodo won't be able to claim 2 knockouts on the same turn. But if it is Typhlosion, then maybe that might be possible.
There's the grass disappearing, and there's the Trick Room disappearing as well. Luca reveals Wolf's Incineroar coming in here, and that is a great call as well. It's Assault Vest, such a bulky Pokemon as well. Komodo only has special attacks as well, has such low HP here as well. You've got to protect from this fake out at least to start with.
Yeah, you absolutely have to, but then the following turn, the question is going to be how much damage can Komodo do to Incineroar? It will have to go for the Clanging Scales to hit both Pokemon. Knock out Ursaluna Blood Moon, that is for sure, as Trick Room will be over. But how much damage can it do to Incineroar? It needs the one-hit knockout, or else Incineroar will get the retaliation KO.
Here it is, it's Clanging Scales. Ursaluna goes down, and that is nowhere near enough damage on Incineroar. Incineroar now, even with the +1 minus defense on this Komodo, there's that Flare Blitz, and that will definitely be enough. Komodo goes down, and Luca Ceribelli now 1 game up and 1 game away from claiming this regional title.
Wow, what a back and forth or back and forth game rather. And I think the turn 1 trade was definitely favorable for Luca there, bringing out Annihilate, and Eric was debating to go for a Protect on Primarina, decided to kind of predict Final Gambit to go into Rillaboom, which doesn't have Protect, which would have been a safe target. Therefore, I think he switched in Smeargle to try to catch the Final Gambit with the Focus Sash, but Luca, seeing right through that play, goes for Final Gambit into Primarina, knocks that Pokemon out. And yeah, this time around, it wasn't Typhlosion that was the star of the show, but it was this Ursaluna and Farigiraf combination under Trick Room that put on so much pressure, and Eric just couldn't play out of it during the couple of turns under Trick Room.
Yeah, it was just a really masterfully played game plan that Luca had there, with the perfect Pokemon in the back as well, given that everything else just kind of fell to Incineroar, right? That is the one Pokemon that Eric doesn't have on their team, and the one thorn in his side in that endgame. So you've got to be thinking, does Eric maybe switch it up to the Sneasler? At least have another option against this Incineroar.
Yeah, Sneasler could be one way. However, it's tough. Sneasel does not have Throat Chop, so no real great way of hitting that Typhlosion besides maybe besides acrobatics.
What about Dark Claw?
Yeah, it has Dark Claw. Maybe it's the time to go for that. It has proven to be so worth it in the last couple of games. But yeah, it's tough to formulate a game plan because, yeah, Luca's team is so flexible and there could be something completely different coming out of it. It seems like Eric, though, trusts the Pokemon, at least in the lead, that he brought in Game 1.
Okay, so Whimsicott and Typhlosion, you're obviously threatening a Sunny Day plus Eruption very heavily at the moment here. Now, Whimsicott, being Terra Ghost, can get around that Fake Out, so it can always get up the move it wants, and therefore you lower the damage of the Hyper Voice as well that can come out, which is looking relatively safe. And so here is a Terra. It is into the Rillaboom, though.
And no Terra Ghost over on Luca's side, like we saw in his game against Eduardo earlier. That could have been a guarantee for the Sunny Day, but no, it's gonna be a Fake Out and no Sunny Day coming out.
Yeah, it just comes out immediately, so great call. Eruption, though, still full power, but still no Terra boosted either. Taking it fairly comfortably, and there's just a raw Hyper Voice. There's a KO on that Typhlosion. That was such a problem. Absolutely going down here, and Whimsicott doing nothing on this turn either. Looks like Luca maybe overread this turn a little bit.
Yeah, Luca was definitely kind of respecting any sort of counterplay coming out from Eric against this Terra Ghost, Sunny Day, and Eruption play, but Eric makes a great call, going for the Fake Out, despite the fact that there was potentially Farigiraf waiting in the back, and besides the fact that there was Terra Ghost available on Whimsicott, gets the reach correct, and now Primarina, yeah, going for this Hyper Voice. Yeah, probably can just go for another one or maybe swap out into another position. But at least for this game, Eric does not have to worry about the Typhlosion anymore.
Definitely not yet. There were so many ways that turn could have gone wrong for Eric. But no, he sees through all of it. As you can see, locking in that Golden Go switch in here, a perfect play at the moment, given the normal Psychic and Fairy type moves that Luca can offer offensively here. And with that Good as Gold ability, is also immune to the Encore.
Oh, and no Encore coming out. Instead, it is a Moonblast, and there's another one.
With a special attack, drop it to boot too. Really nice in front of this Hyper Voice, which is then going to boost it back up again. And yeah, now with that damage, Primarina, it looks like can take another Hyper Voice on top of that. So it's in a really strong position, to be honest, at the moment. And the question is, now with Typhlosion down, what can beat this Golden Go?
Yeah, Ursaluna Blood Moon or Incineroar. Either of those could do the job. We gotta wait and see which is the final Pokemon for Luca. But with this special attack drop as well, the damage output of Luca is just so much lower than it was a turn before with Typhlosion on the board. And yeah, Primarina enjoying its positioning. Same with Golden Go. There's grassy terrain is up. You can recover a little bit. You can just go for some knockouts this turn as well. And yeah, there's nothing really stopping this Hyper Voice and Make It Rain combination.
So there's the Tailwind, though. That is the speed control of choice. Psychic, though, goes into the Primarina. It's just probably enough there to get rid of it in this game. And that's going to be really key, depending on what was in the back there for Luca. Make It Rain, though, first. Coming out and KOing now Whimsicott. Farigiraf hanging on yet again. This Luca. Farigiraf seems to have the perfect training right now, but is it enough, though, for what is in the back? At least Tailwind is now set up, so you've got 3 turns to make the most of it, Luca.
Yeah, you absolutely have to. And with this play, I'm expecting Ursaluna Blood Moon to be the last Pokemon. And this game still isn't over. Of course, now we see, well, Eric has 2 Pokemon with Fake Out potentially available. But as long as Farigiraf is around there to protect its side of the field with Armor Tail, but hold that thought, it's actually Incineroar, no Ursaluna Blood Moon.
Wow, okay, so that's kind of exactly what you want, right? Into the rest of what Eric has got here. However, it is not that safety goggles that it has, but it does have access to the Terra Grass that can make it get around the potential of spores that this Smeargle can go for here.
Yeah, and it also has access to the Tailwind that was just set up by Luca. Smeargle cannot go for a protecting move, so if Luca goes for a double target, that probably would be enough for the knockout. However, then Farigiraf might go down.
So because of the Protect on Frigorov here, though, we know the Smeagol is going to get out of this turn at least. But yeah, Fake Out Protect is really nice here, actually. Often not the move you want to go for because you want to capitalize on your Fake Out turn, but this is perfectly choreographed from Luca, knowing the Make It Rain comes out here, and now you preserve both Farigiraf and Incineroar into the next turn.
Yeah, this was a great call by Luca, and I think the only play that keeps him in this game, because now Focus Sash is broken on Smeargle, and even though it looks so counterintuitive, you're stalling a turn of your own Tailwind, and you're not capitalizing on the free turn that the Fake Out has created for Farigiraf, but this was not about the free turn, this was just about the damage. You just needed to break Focus Sash on Smeargle so that now you're threatening a KO on Smeargle and a follow-up attack into Golden Go.
Yeah, and now that Smeargle has got that rid of that Focus Sash, yeah, it can go down to quite a lot here, and no Moody Boost to help it out either. Actually getting a defense drop as well, just in case there was any doubt Incineroar could get this KO. There's 2 more turns of Tailwind. Can Luca get the upper hand here to be able to deal enough damage? That Golden Go's got to be afraid of those Flare Blitzes, mind you.
Oh, it absolutely is. No Terra available either. Do you go for another Protect here?
It looks like Eric's locking that in. Yeah, there's the Protect. So let's see how Luca has responded to that potential threat. There's the knockoff into the Smeargle, getting that KO really nicely and so easily. But Farigiraf, what has it gone for here? It is a Trick Room? Yes, there it is. This is the last turn of Tailwind still, though, but that's going to really flip the switch on a lot of what Eric has after another turn.
Wow, this could develop into a masterpiece for Luca, setting up Trick Room right as Tailwind ends, and now this Golden Go is locked on the field with a reduced special attack stat. But Rillaboom, of course, with that Terra Fire still in the back, and that has to be the ace card now for Eric.
So now, my question is, now you've got Tailwind up, but Trick Room still up. It's most likely that, at least on this turn, Golden Go and Rillaboom are going to be the fastest Pokemon on the field. But the Incineroar can't protect from this turn either, so it's more of a safe target for high horsepower, for instance, from Rillaboom.
Yeah, I think, well, Golden Go went for Protect the previous turn, but now instead is Luca going on the defensive. Once again, this Farigiraf still around. Rillaboom going for the high horsepower, half health, but what is Incineroar going for?
It's going to be the nasty plot on the Golden Go at least first, but surely it's the Flare Bits into this turn. No, the knockoff instead, still doing so much damage and keeping the Golden Go around, though, into the following turns. But now Tailwind has expired on Luca's end, and there are so many more turns of Trick Room to go.
Yeah, now the speed control flips back into Luca's favor. Golden Go now getting the special attack set back to neutral. I don't think there was really much better that it could have done, because had it gone for an attack, that actually would have probably been knocked out by the Life Orb recoil. So I think going for the nasty plot now keeps things a little bit ambiguous, because if you're Luca, do you commit an attack into Golden Go, or do you try and read the safe Protect that might be coming out here?
It's a great question, yeah, and really nice to maybe in some ways not go for the Flare Bits, yeah, to put yourself in recall in range of that high horsepower. But yeah, Eric really has to think carefully this turn, because it could all be curtains.
Yeah, and Luca has to be able to taste the championship here. Finally, Terrestrialization is committed, but where will it be?
It's the Incineroar, though, going into that Terra Grass here. Being able to then take on those high horsepowers from Rillaboom, so much better, but not those Golden Go attacks, mind you. Knock off first into the Rillaboom, no Protect on this Golden Go either. This frees up the Farigiraf. It's going to go for that attack. Psychic, first of all. It does cover the Golden Go, getting that KO there. It's going to follow up with Rillaboom now, but how is it going to touch this Incineroar? It's going to try it, though. It's going to be the horsepower into the Farigiraf now.
Wow.
Going slightly slower.
It will come down to Incineroar and Rillaboom that have swapped their types. It's the Fire-type Rillaboom against the Grass-type Incineroar. That is absolutely amazing.
Definitely is, but yeah, look at all the not very effective options that Eric has here. And the Incineroar has multiple turns of being able to go first here too in these last 2 turns of Trick Room.
Now, of course, Woodhammer would deal most damage, but can you afford to take the recoil here? This is so tough to assess. And yeah, you can visibly see Eric calculating and thinking, okay, well, Woodhammer, how much damage is it going to do? Then how much recoil do I take? How much do I recover from the grassy terrain? What is better? Knockoff will have the reduced power now as the item has already been knocked off. So yeah, this will come down to the wire.
Okay, here we go. Knockoff comes out from Luca's end, doing a really good chunk of damage there. There's the Woodhammer. In the grassy terrain, it's not enough for the KO. There's a lot of recoil on Eric's Rillaboom here, and it just hangs around.
And it seems like Luca has done it. The next knockoff certainly will be enough, but there's still Grassy Glide as the final last resort for Eric. If this doesn't KO, Luca will be the champion.
Here we go. Final turn, folks. Grassy Glide is not enough for KO Incineroar. Luca Ceribelli, your 4th Italian champion, has done it. He is your Stuttgart regional champion.
Wow, what a comeback in this second game. Well played to Eric, but well played to Luca. Finding that line with Incineroar and Farigiraf and taking home another title here.
Incredible work from Luca. Just nothing was stopping that team. Seeing